Juan Francisco Estrada, the very talented Mexican at 115 pounds super flyweight, will be fighting again in a week's time, December 8th, against Victor Mendez, a fellow countryman. It's going to be the third time he's fought this year, the first time being against WBC champ Srisakat Rungvisai, where he narrowly lost a very compelling decision. Now, Mendez has only lost 3 times, each time a split decision. The second time being against Luis Neri, is it? Or Neri? Not great with the pronunciation. So he's never been stopped, only lost narrowly. He's very big at the weight. He's 5'7" with a 70-inch reach as well. So pretty long and rangy for 115 pounds. He's only ever fought once, though, outside of Mexico. And from the little snippets I've seen of him, there's not much. He seems pretty basic, a bit ropey with his guard, a bit too looping with his punches, and a guy who doesn't have the natural skill to really make the best use of those natural assets he's got with the range and the height. So I very much expect Estrada in what will definitely be his last fight of the year, in a fight that is not particularly compelling, to very much win a decision. Possibly a late stoppage, but Mendez seems like a very tough guy. He's still got plenty of beans. I think he's 25 and seems pretty physically tough. So Estrada to look good there, to keep himself sharp. This, of course, was supposed to be on the date when Chocolatito, Roman Gonzalez, was supposed to be fighting Pedro Guevara. Now, that unfortunately came apart because Chocolatito has injured his knee, I believe it is, and that's really thrown a spanner in the works in terms of Gonzalez's career and, of course, the prospect of a rematch with Estrada, which was still definitely a money fight. Now, had Gonzalez fought Guevara on December 8th, beat him well, that possibly would have been the launch pad to then fight Estrada. But that's out the window now. Gonzalez is going to have to be out for a while. Then he'll have to have another warm-up fight, see how his body is. It's hard to say, you know, this might be the end for him, considering the weight he's at, the age he is. It's unfortunate, but what can you do with injuries? Rungvisai could very well fight in a unification fight, the Philippine Yerwin Ancajas. Now, that would be fantastic. That's one of the top fights that can be made at 115 pounds. And that would be a massive fight in the Far East as well. They're talking about that, I think, being made early next year. That would be great to see. But then, still the biggest fight at 115 pounds since Inouye has moved up, and now that Chocolatito seems to be well out of the picture again. It really is, providing Rungvisai can beat Ancajas, which will be favoured to do, it's really the rematch between Estrada and Rungvisai. The first fight was great. Estrada won the last round, conducted himself really well, knew he had to change tact, fought a fantastic fight. I thought just lost sort of 7-5, brilliant, high skill, high quality, big punches as well for the weight. If you're watching those weights, yeah, it's definitely, you're in for a treat when you watch those guys. And Estrada now he's 28, he's still in his prime. Of course, he lost that first fight against Chocolatito, and though he had a good win against Carlos Cuadras, he still hasn't really had that big win that you expect of a guy, which you could still arguably have in the top 10 pound for pound, because he's super quality, Estrada. Lovely footwork, a great counterpuncher. I think in terms of skill, he's right up there with the Moraleses, the Barreras and the Marquez, but again, he hasn't had his big moment. So still being 28, I hope at the least he does get that rematch against Rungvisai for next year. That is the one to be made. I don't think he's going to try his look up at bantamweight. I think he's going to remain at 115 pounds, and again, that is the fight to be made. It deserves a second chapter. So look for Estrada to get rid of Mendez, or, you know, easily outpoint him, and then I'm hoping for him a big fight next year